Hello everyone, and welcome to week 2 of Strategy 101 Q&A, where I answer your questions about strategy and change. I'm sitting on Waiheke Island this week in the pissing down rain. It is terrible weather, and I'm outside a wonderful shop in Palm Beach where I'd like to answer a question that was asked on LinkedIn by Barb Grant. Hi Barb. Barb asked, how do we transition from strategy into making it real? Which is one of the most common questions that I get about strategy and change, and I think it's really important. There's a couple of things I want to talk about for this one. One of them I answered last week. So having clarity about what our strategy is and what we need to do to make it real is the first step. Without knowing exactly what we're trying to achieve and why it's so important, it's really hard to get anywhere. So that's the first step. But once we've got that far and we know that we need to make strategy a reality, how do we implement? How do we breathe life? There are two parts. There's a van going past. There are two answers to this question. One of them, which is the most important, is about people. But I'm going to park that for a second. The first answer is about how we make strategy real, the nuts and bolts. In order for our direction to become a reality, it's really important that the decisions we make around work programs, budgets, actions, align with our bigger picture. So the way that we're spending money and the things that we're choosing to fund and choosing to do need to align really clearly with the big picture, otherwise we don't get there. But this is where the people come in, because it's people that make choices about which actions they're going to fund, there's another car, how they're going to direct their teams and what their budgets look like for the quarter or for the year. So making meaning from strategy and turning it into reality means having people on board. I think there's a common perception that strategy is not my job. So for those of you who aren't in a governance or a senior leadership role, it's really easy to feel like strategy is kind of this abstract thing that lives in the role of other people. But the reality is that strategy is choices. And if you're making choices, strategy is absolutely your job. For those of you tasked with the making meaning piece, bringing people on board and supporting them to find their own way in that is extremely important. I have a framework I use which is called Tell, Ask, Support. So the components of that go a bit like this. If you've designed strategy and you've made choices about what that direction looks like, it's really important that you tell people. Bringing your managers together and saying, this is the direction and these are the priorities, is the first step. The second part of that framework is to ask really good questions like, what does this mean for you and your work? What might you have to do more of or less of to make this a reality? What decisions are required to bring this to life? And the third part of that framework is about support, where we say, what do you need from us to help make that real? Have you got trade-offs that we need to support? Do you need different funding, different people, different support? So I'm going to leave it there for the week. I hope this has been helpful. In summary, how do we bring strategy into action? We make meaning by supporting the people that need to make choices to align with the big picture. Stay tuned next week where I'll be releasing week 3 of the Strategy 101 Q&A series. If you have a burning question about strategy or change, maybe it's a buzzword that you'd like to decode, maybe it's a process question, maybe there's something, a particular example from your workplace that you didn't understand or hasn't sat well with you, please feel free to send it through. Hopefully I'll be sending the next video from not outside a shop in Waiheke, and hopefully it won't be pissing down with rain. Have a great week everyone. See you later.